Oh no. Oh no.
Oh
It's too
no.
late. It's too late.
It's too late. Recording in progress. Okay. Hey everybody, what's up, Amani?
I be chilling,
You
you
be
know.
chilling? You be
I be
chilling?
chilling and dealing with all my feelings.
I love it. I love it. Well, welcome everybody to the latest episode of The Mess with Amani and me, Brandon. We're your hosts, and we're going to be talking about a lot of things. I do think, Amani, it is. This podcast maybe one day will grow into something more another way, but every time our forces unite, it's because there'd be some shit going down in this country
They be some goddamn shit going down.
and some crazy stuff. So,
Not just in this country, but in like the Straits of Hormuz or,
yes,
off the coast of South America. Like shit's going down
it
all the
is.
fucking time.
It is. And you know what? That is why it is our duty as politically active, savvy, unique creatives to talk about the mess that is the world right now. So
Gotta
we're
be aware, Like it's one of those things. It's like, okay, this shit makes me depressed. And some people were like, well, just don't watch the news. But we be like, somebody has to.
somebody has to, and somebody also has to know how to change that narrative. And we hope that what you'll get out of this is a little humor, something to help lighten. We will get into some deep convos, so maybe there'll be some interesting ideas, but in many ways, another way to change the conversation around what's going on. And so we're just going to jump right into it. And let's just go with the biggest hot topic right now that happened this past weekend. As you all probably are listening, you probably are aware, there was another assassination attempt. This time, not only just on Donald Trump, but on the whole cabinet. At least that is what we are being told right now. And yeah, it happened on Saturday night. And where were you when you got the notification about it?
I was watching it
You were watching it. Yeah.
because I'm an idiot.
So you got to see the firsthand result of everything happening.
Yeah. And I don't know what's wrong with me that I
Mm.
can't stop watching things live. But watching it live, I was like, this doesn't, something's not, like the math is not mathing. This does not make sense. Like so many things about this have not made sense. And it still doesn't. It's like, we're on it. And it's like, but you're not though. They're
Right.
like, oh no, a guy, he's running. And they're like, oh, a guy's running. And then they're like, let's rush everyone out. And to me, it felt very much like the dog ate my homework sort of
Mm.
situation.
I get that. Yeah, I mean, I do think that it's one of those moments that I was out and about this weekend experiencing the Asheville Independent Film Festival for the first time here. And so I was
Which
go
awesome on you for that. That's so great.
it was, and it was a nice distraction, but I was going from a screening to the 25th anniversary birthday party that they were having. And all of a sudden I looked down at my phone and I was like, really? This is really happening right now. Like I paused and I was like, I'm not gonna interact with this right now. I was like, I'm not gonna
There was
interact with it.
nothing really to interact with. Like, and here's the thing, and I hate this because I don't like conspiracy theories, but I'm like,
Hmm.
pretty sure this was staged.
I do think that is the first instinct that I think many people were having. That's what Chris felt when we talked about it. That Chris is my partner for people that don't know. And I haven't really talked to a lot of other people outside of now you, and I've been following it and reading about it, but I do think this one felt so almost too predictable to the point that like the way it all went down, the fact that the there was I guess a way for him to even get past a certain layer of security into the situation. And then the video perfectly seeing him run through, and it does feel instinctually 100% staged. And I wonder if we'll ever find truth to that. Is it
Well,
just
I
going to
mean,
be
it's possible that we won't, but also, like, if you think about that event and that he'd been staying in that hotel, how expensive are those hotel rooms?
hundreds of dollars, if not maybe even more,
Thousands,
thousands?
thousands of
Yeah,
dollars. So if I had thousands of dollars, I wouldn't be doing that if someone didn't pay me thousands of dollars
yeah.
to do that.
And also the fact that like he emailed his family and friends like right before with this manifesto that just all of a sudden was the thing that had to been produced. It is very, very much staged. Now, the level of stage that we would wonder to ask is this was this in on it, or are we thinking like Weapons, the movie, where somebody influenced them so much that this person was in many ways like a proxy and almost like a sleeper agent in a way. I feel like there could be something
Yeah,
because I
I
do
would
think,
think that.
I think there's something more.
I mean, I first of all, why do you have all those weapons? That's so weird. And the hotel people
Yeah.
before this event weren't like, "Oh, it's weird for you to have that many weapons." Like, it's not
Yeah.
whatever. What is normal? I don't know what normal is anymore. But he's just like, "Doo doo doo, just checking in." And I'm just gonna go upstairs, and these weapons have nothing to do with the event that's coming up. Bop, 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 bop.
But I also think, and here's the reason why I will play a little devil's advocate with this, that if it isn't staged, I do think that then it showcases once again the amount of human error that can always be very much the reason why things sometimes don't add up because sometimes people just are not paying attention or whatnot. But on top of that, I do wonder, I mean, to give not any benefit of the doubt, but just okay, we look at it, we could go down the conspiracy theory route, and we should talk about both sides. But we can also say, okay, maybe this guy was just that deranged from everything. Like, is this not only
But
another sign?
also really rich. I mean, you can be deranged and be rich at the same time. We can see that from the president. But
Well,
I don't know.
I think the
I
thing is like it's a shock to the nervous system of somebody that has wealth, has privilege, and to think, oh, my vigilante act is going to be the thing that's going to save the world. And I do think that what I'm just, it's clearly another ego situation with this person that to allow themselves, and even, okay, even if they're this angry, the logic of somebody, and I'm just trying to look at it the side of like, let's give the logic that this guy did decide to just do this. And there was nothing influencing him outside of his own choices, and he had his money. Once again, this is just another symptom of the fact that Trumpism is inflating ego on all sides of the situation. And this person to have literally thought with my money to go up to this hotel room and I'm gonna bum rush and just go and do this moment, that is so like out of reality as well. Like the to think that that is the best use of your resources to go and do that. And then also if he was doing this on his own, then dude, you really biffed it. Because if you thought just running was going to be like
He was fast.
he was, I won't deny that. He was definitely fast. But I mean, there were checkpoints. I mean, he didn't, there was they caught him in the lobby. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't
Yeah.
there was still other stages he would have had to get through to get actually into the ballroom. So I do think like this also just shows the ineptitude of sometimes when people are so
Ye-
driven by passion to almost be blinded by the situation. Because and the reason why I bring that up is because Trump did a 60 Minutes interview, and you can tell when that woman read from the manifesto, it wasn't like it didn't feel staged. What it felt was he was really pissed off. Like genuinely, like actually really pissed off. And I do think that's why there's a part of me that does question if this was staged because if in the past, like when in 2024, when that happened, Trump was on point. He knew how to hit his marks. He did all the interviews and everything was felt so programmed in 2024, specifically almost that. And to me, that really was an orchestration. I do feel like that one situation, and when I've looked into it, it does feel way more plausible to be staged. And then you got the one where the guy was at the golf cart, and I do think that guy was just really thinking he was going to be Batman and like hanging out in the bushes and was going to pop a shot off at Trump. And then we have this one, and this one just feels like I don't know. I was watching that interview and I was like, Trump looks so angry because I do genuinely.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing is he turned that whole interview into that's why we need the ballroom.
I know, yeah, that ballroom, man.
That fucking ballroom. And it's like I had to find there was some justification. If this hadn't happened, no one would know like why we need the ballroom. But
Right.
obviously, now everyone knows we need it. That was most of that interview. Not like like he was just talking about how cool the ballroom is gonna be. We're gonna have bulletproof glass and we're gonna have like more bulletproof glass and only one entrance. Like, bruh, no one even asked you about your fucking ballroom.
Yeah. And it is, you know, I do think that's him being the snake oil salesman that he always is. It's just like, this is my moment. What can I attach to sell to the people right now? Like, what can I attach to be able to
Yeah, but I was like, who wrote this speech for you? Like the My Pillow guy?
I was a little bummed that we didn't get to see the mentalist perform his tricks at the correspondence dinner. You know,
Yeah, that was a total bummer.
it
I
was a
I
total.
super wanted to see that.
But then I'm also kind of like, if you're the mentalist,
Why didn't you see this coming?
hmm. So, we'll see what comes of Mr. Mentalism because he was also supposed to be on Jimmy uh Kimmel tonight, but that ain't happening. But do you think they're gonna redo the Correspondence Dinner? Do you think they're gonna do it again?
No.
I don't think so either. I think they should just we're done. Not happening this year. Let's just move
I
on.
think they haven't done it before. They didn't want to do it that day. And then they made it super dramatic. So, no,
No, no.
is my opinion. I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
work there.
I don't work there either. And I think correspondence, you know what? I think the universe was pissed about the fact that they didn't have a comedian. These were supposed to be roasting situations. The whole
Yeah.
correspondence
And
dinner is the moment that it is one of the bedrocks of being in the modern American system. It is the moment the president is supposed to take some licks. it's a moment when the free press is allowed to remind us that the president, as powerful as they are, is
Is
also
still one of us.
one of us and also at the liberty of being reminded that our media and our free press is part of what makes us American to be able to say these things in front of them and not lose your head. Like it's important. And I do think that there is some cosmic situation in this moment where Trump's mentalist, who I think honestly was probably going to do some hypnotism on the world and brainwash people, didn't get to do his show. I have met mentalists before, and I have studied mentalism a little bit, and there's a lot about how it's used as programming. And I do think that's why I almost was very apprehensive to watch it because I do think Trump uses the television very um masterful to brainwash a lot of people sometimes. And I think this was going to be one of those moments where somebody that he picked that uses mentalism was going to be able to try to influence the culture again. And in some weird way, I think divine universal energy just said, nope, we're not doing this.
Not happening.
Not happening. So I hope they don't reschedule it. I hope just another year passes and we'll do maybe one next year
Or not.
or not until we
You
have a
know what I
different
mean?
president.
Like it's like I don't personally want, like, Trump is out there in public all the fucking time. And I don't actually want to see more of him. Sometimes I hope that he'll be professional and like do a good job, but that almost never happens. So I'm like, I'm fine if he just like goes somewhere else and doesn't say anything. I would love it if he just didn't say anything.
Yeah. I also think he, this is once again just another step of them stepping deeper into the muck of it all. And they are, it's all, I've been staying out of really giving the Republicans or MAGA any type of energy that I like to make it feel like it's personal. And as we've been in
I've been
this,
trying to give them grace sometimes.
I'm not even giving them grace. I'm literally just giving them nothing. Like, you guys do whatever you're gonna do. Do you, and let's just see what you do to yourselves. Because at the end of the day, the more that I just, cool, go run your little gambit. We'll see how we get to midterms, and then we can talk a little bit more once the power has shifted in another direction. But for right now, with the way the chips are stacked in this country, the fact that we don't have the House or the Senate, and progress. There's not
But
much
I
we.
feel like we're gonna get them
Oh no, I
because
I agree.
they've dug themselves so into that hole.
Well, yeah, and I think last year was we were all being attacked by our nervous systems because we were going through a whole Trump 2.0 again, and we didn't really know how to process it. And this year, I think a lot of people have just accepted like we're playing the long game, and so everyone's that I think is that it's on the left or Democrat, a lot of us are focused on the midterms and we're just putting that energy into that because we can't we this is a marathon and we cannot lose our energy every day because at the end of the day it will matter come November once we have hopefully the Senate and the House back in our corners, then we can really begin to do some policy shifting and truly I think rein in this president again. But for right now, I'm just like, let their hubris get the best of them, you know? I mean, before we change subjects, I do want to say one last thing about the Correspondence Dinner that I don't know why I was intrigued by this, but it was really interesting to see all the footage of the reporters in their ball gowns and their like tuxedos reporting after. It was like, you all normally don't look like this. And clearly you all just came right from the dinner into your desk position and just started reporting. And that was such a unique look to see.
It was a unique look. Like, I don't remember which reporter it was, but she was in like a one shoulder fruffled gown thing. And I was like, first of all, you look great. But second of all, what?
No. Like it was just like you just went straight to work. Okay. That's what you did. And they all popped up their phones right at like when it all was going down. You just everyone's
And I was like, you look fabulous, but you don't look like a reporter. Look, what is happening? You nut buckets.
nut
Anyway,
buckets. Well, this is, I think, you brought up the Strait of Hormuz and everything
I
that
did.
has been, I think, just building momentum to what happened this past weekend. And by no means do I think this was the end of it. I think it's like we're still building, but I do think there has been the invasion of Iran
Was a
is
bad idea.
was a bad idea, and it really was the turning point. And I do think historians will definitely record that probably as the beginning of the end of the Trump.
Well, also, the first obvious beginning of the lies
Hmm.
of being a no new war president.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. This looks like a war, sir. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a war person, but what you're doing when you're bombing the things and the children and stuff, that seems like a war. So can everyone catch you on that lie? At least that one?
right. Well, and I think that's been a big division for his MAGA base. He's lost some people that really believed in the MAGA of anti-new wars. And
That's
I,
what he said.
yeah, that's what he said. It's interesting that this was one of the big things because I mean he's been lying about a lot of things, saying, "Oh, I'm not going to do
Yeah,
this,"
he
and then
lies all the time,
right,
but like this is visibly that was a lie. Like
yeah,
it's like not it's not the Epstein files. It's not like whatever. Like we can literally see the bombs dropping from our planes.
yeah, and I think also, I think most people know on some level. I think from America, like Iran is definitely one of our hot energies that we are not necessarily there's not much we can do to see eye to eye. Like Iran is very different than America. They are very different
Yeah,
ideologies.
so just leave them
Them
alone.
alone.
Stop stealing their shit. Stop blockading their shit with another blockade. That's so inefficient.
It's inefficient. It's also once again was not planned at all. And I do think that that's really what's so um crazy about this whole thing. Like you would think, okay, if Israel was really the leading of this situation and America wanted to get involved, like there would have been a little bit of planning, but it's like they straight up just went in and I think they really
There
thought,
was no planning. He didn't
no,
even ask Congress,
no. And they
which is a
just,
war crime. Ah,
yeah,
it's a fucking war crime.
it is.
I'm sorry. Like, I know he can't read, but I can read. And I'm quite certain that what he did in the Strait of Hormuz was a war crime.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's not cool.
It's not cool, but once again, going back to what I said earlier, until we have the House and the Senate back in Democratic hands, at this point in time, he's got the free pass. And so that is what
No,
because
there should not be a free pass.
Well, it's Congress's job to do this. They're the ones that the
Then why
whole
don't they do their job?
because they're red and
Because it's a mess.
it's because it's a mess. And that mess is why we're talking about it. It's a mess. Like we are in a mess. And hopefully, pretty soon, there will be more of a positive shift to this. But for right now, we're in the thicket of it, and Congress is not doing a damn thing. And the judiciary can only do so much. And I mean, have been judges, federal judges, that have said no to many different things. And then there have been some that have been appointed by them that have allowed the situation. So, once again, to any of our audience, even if you do not consider yourself a Democrat or left, this is not about Democrats. This is about opposition right now. And we live in a two-party system. And I'm just going to straight
Which
up
is
say this.
stupid. It's
It
kind
is
of
stupid.
stupid,
Part of the
but
reason why we're
but
in this
it's where
mess.
we are.
It's part of the reason why we're in this mess. It really is.
Yes.
But if we have to play opposition politics, then at the end of the day, we all just have to jump on the Democratic bandwagon and just go with it. And I mean, this is where I will even be admitted as a lifelong Democrat. Democrats do better. Please do better with the power that's going to be given to you. Because if you don't, this is why we're in this mess. You didn't do better in 2024. You screwed it all up. You screwed the pooch. And look what we're dealing with. So stop being in your self-righteous chariots and actually not only be an opposition party, but actually be something that is worth people's interest and time. Because if we keep pushing things on these kind of like what we did for the 4 years when Biden was in office and then allowed us to just bum rush another candidate in last minute. This is why we are in this mess. Like you really have to go to the people. And I think as Democrats, we get labeled as this elitist party, and there is a level of truth to it. I don't believe that everybody that's in Democrats are elitist, but there is a level of
We're just more educated. I'm sorry.
we are, but I do think that what I'm trying to say is that you and I can look at the Republicans and their whole messaging, and we look at it and be like, this is crazy. But what their messaging does, regardless of whether we agree with it, it gets to a base level for a lot of people that wanted something like that and wanted the optics, and they bought into it. They've bought into the lies. And if the Democrats
Absolutely.
are going to sell something, it's got to be more than just saving democracy. It really has to be progressive opportunities for people. Yes, lead with the fact that Trump is crazy. Use that messaging. Say we are the opposition party. But then what is tangible underneath it? That I think to me was the big problem about the pitch that they were selling in 2024 is that there wasn't enough um merits for us to build off of. It was trying to be like, well, look what we've been doing for the last 4 years. We're just gonna kind of keep this going. And that compared to the man who's like, I'm not gonna get us any wars and I'm just gonna like lower all the taxes. And he was lying to you, but people bought it. So like I'm not saying we've got to lie because I don't think that'll win, but we've got to figure out a messaging system that actually targets more than just liberals. It has to be something that is effective for everyday lives that make people believe that their economy will be better with the hands of the Democrats.
Yeah. Let's get us some health care.
Right. Let's get us some health care. Let's actually talk about universal income. Let's actually
Yeah.
talk about the right to housing. Like these are things
Yeah.
that I
Let's
think,
get us some fucking libraries. Like it's not a big deal.
right.
Like like it's not, they're already there. We just have to build them
Yeah,
and not be like, oh no, we don't. Libraries are stupid and a waste of time. No, they're not. Everyone's going to feel better when they have access to a library or access to a doctor.
exactly.
Like, it's not that big a deal. We have the money.
We
We're
have the
just,
money. And we
Yeah.
can use that money. And I think if we use that money to make it showcase benefiting people's lives, that
Yeah.
would be ideal. People, when I think they really were, I hate to say this, but the price of eggs pitch that the Republicans used in 2024 was so genius for them that it really was one of the things that actually allowed them, I think, to drive a lot of their ability to pull people in because
But what happened to the price of eggs?
they've gone up more. They have gone way more up, and it sucks. Like it really does. Like they
It
lied
sucks
to
for
us.
everyone.
Which is
So,
why Democrats, we better run that same page from their book and just keep pushing about look at your gas prices right now. I mean, that is, I think, the big thing. Like, if we can push the gas price note this year and really showcase that, like, I mean, this guy was telling you your gas price is going to go up. The gas prices are higher than when the Democrats were in office,
yep.
and there's no foreseeable sight right now with the Strait of Hormuz being the way it is.
Yeah. I mean, it's fucked up. Sorry, I shouldn't curse. But
You can curse.
y-
We're a podcast. If they can do it on Pod Save America, we could do it on here too.
but yeah, I mean, it's in the pudding. Like you can see it with your own eyes. Are your eggs less expensive? No. Is your gas less expensive? No. Are your utility bills less expensive?
Yeah,
No. So, like, do you want them to be less expensive or do you want just a red hat? I don't know.
and also to that point, okay, your prices are expensive, and you keep telling yourself, well, Republicans are going to lower taxes. Well, let's just showcase what you've actually been paying for. It's called tariffs. Tariffs equal taxes. It's the
Oh
same
my
thing.
gosh, not the
That's
tariffs.
it's just another fancy word
I don't
to
want to talk about the tariffs we get money from the tariffs, right?
we get nothing. The tariffs money has gone into
I know.
one pocket only, people. His name is Trump, and that
I
tariff
know.
money is in his pocket. So, like, guys, how much longer as a country do we want to be grifted? My question to the audience, how much longer in this country do you want to be grifted? Because I mean, at this point in time, I mean, it's foolish. I mean, it's like, you know, we've been warned not once, not twice. We're going on to the 14th bajillion time of being warned. How much longer do we want to be grifted in this country?
And how many signs do you need to see that Trump is a grifter? Like, just go into his past. Like,
Right?
all he's ever done is grift.
Yeah.
He was born on grifting.
Yeah.
So, why would you think that this ballroom isn't a fucking grift?
Correct. I 100% agree, and I think it it's it's why it'll take many years once he's gone and this whole thing is over for us to begin to like rebuild whatever.
It's gonna take a lot to fucking fix it.
Yeah, a lot of clearing out tacky old gold and all those really ugly looking gold plated statues that man is trying to like just put everywhere. It's anytime I see the
Yeah,
overall,
and if he
it's
actually gets like funding to build that fucking arch that looks like the Arc de Triomphe, we're gonna have to knock that down too. That's gonna be so annoying.
yeah, it's annoying. It's annoying, and there is no real Republicans right now that are helping the situation. They have either dropped out, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, and are just now
Yeah.
glorified pundits. And if you're just making a big paycheck on TV, and I'm not mad at you. Go make your money, but you're not any better. You're not doing
Get
anything other
that
than
paycheck, boo boo.
yeah. If you did it for the paycheck, but like is sitting on CNN or sitting on Fox News going to really push any needles? No, it's not. So, we're the Republicans don't have anybody that's really in opposition. I mean, JD Vance is spineless. He is really, really spineless. And I think as a vice president, um, any any thought that he would ever win presidency, I think, is out the window. Like I do genuinely think the only thing that will ever let him be president is if Donald Trump dies before his presidency is over. Like to be quite honest, I don't think JD Vance will walk away from this ever being able to achieve anything more. So I hope he's happy with where he landed because that's kind of all he's going to have.
And I'm happy that he got his makeup studio.
Right. With his eyeliner and everything.
He looks great.
Yeah, it's so great. And then I do think I was reading an article the other day, or no, it was this morning. I think it was on MSNBC, and they were talking about Marco Rubio being potentially the next heir to the Republican Party. And I just don't see it. I think if you think Marco Rubio just because he comes off as the chill Republican is any better, you're just be you're just falling into another illusion. The fact that he has not stopped any of this as the Secretary of State or been a oppositional voice at any moment of this,
I'm
um,
like, where are the fucking grown-ups? I'm talking
right.
about Rubio too. I'm just like, no one, you are all here. You're in the cabinet. No one is seeing this. No one's doing anything. We're fucked.
And it's like, I look at Marco Rubio and I go, Marco Rubio, you don't agree with all this, but you're so willing for the power in the hopes that maybe this will lead you to presidency that you're sacrificing everything because I don't like what's his face, Mr. War, Secretary of War, whatever
It
Pete
had
Hegs.
stuff.
I don't like him at all. But the thing about Pete Hegseth that I do believe he is that white supremacist dude. He is that guy that actually is in collusion with Trump and really pushing that energy. That's why he comes off the way he does. He believes what he says. But Marco Rubio, you can tell, you see it all the time on the moments when he's in like these cabinet meetings and he does not care to say, well, he doesn't like what's being said, and you can see it on his face, but he just says nothing. It's just like he turns a blind eye because you can feel it in Marco Rubio. It's like, Marco, you don't believe in all of this, but you're willing to sacrifice yourself for the
I
power.
think I think that's true of a lot of the people in the situation.
Yeah. I
That's
think,
what I'm gonna call it, the situation.
but I think
The
that's
shit
what's,
show situation.
I agree. And I would even say, I think JD Vance is a little bit on that too. But I think what's scary about Trump right now is the fact that people like Pete Hegseth and RFK Jr. are
Oh my god.
they're so in it. They're so in it that they are willing to keep pushing this forward. And that's what's different around this time versus 2020. He really does have people that have drank the juice so much that they're really
I
in
mean, I'm pretty sure that RFK Jr. went in a pond that gave him brain worms.
it.
So, what are we gonna do?
I think he's got worms everywhere. He's got worms up the butt, worms in the nose, worms
Ah,
everywhere. Dude, it hurts to
okay,
hear
he's
him talk.
probably mostly composed of worms. Okay, it's fine.
It's hard to hear him talk. Like those hearings he did, dude, I it was like, and I love crystals, but it sounded like hearing a bunch of gravel. And I was just like, dude, like,
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because I don't want to feel bad for him, but like when he has to like talk out loud, I'm like, oh my gosh, this seems so painful. You should be in a home,
right.
sir. Like he's like, we just and if you just put the worms in your brain, and the worms will tell you what to do.
It's so scary that you can do that so well. You are a dialect master, so I'm not surprised. Yeah, it's hard.
Sorry, just for the audience. I hope I do not have worms in my brain. It was just a dialect thing.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. And if you don't know, everybody, Amani Dorn dialects is the best in town in all of the country. So if you need any, I'm just plugging you, but if you need somebody that's going to help you with your dialect, hit her up. That's what she does outside of all this political talk. And obviously starring in movies as well too.
Your movies.
Heck yeah. Side note, everybody, check out Earth Mother. It's on Roku channel now. It just went on Roku channel this week. It's also on Amazon Prime and Tubi. Mani is one of the stars. She plays our fire witch in the movie. So she is very magical. And yeah, please check it out on Roku if you get a chance. And let us know what you think. I think we've talked a lot about a lot of those things, but we have one more topic that we wanted to talk about that I think will hopefully, it's still messy. It's so messy, but it's a little bit of a lighter fare, I guess. Um,
Less of a mess, if you
Less
will.
of a mess. Mess for interpersonal between Christy Nome and her husband, but less of a mess in terms of how it's affecting our country. And honestly, that's kind of refreshing to have a Republican person in their mess just be their own mess, and we can all eat popcorn and watch it from the comfort of our home or computer screens. So thank you, Christy Nome and her husband, for your cross-dressing mess situation. But if you haven't heard, Amani, do you want to explain what's been going on?
Yeah, so Chrissy Nome, Chrissy Nome, um, her husband was exposed as a cross dresser, which is like fine for me. I mean, I don't care if he's a cross dresser, but it seemed like it would not be fine for her based on the policies that she was pushing. So it was like a beep boop. Wait, how does this make sense? Like you're all about the no and the not for bi people or gay people or, you know,
Right.
trans people, but your husband is a cross dresser. So it's like, okay, so whose agenda were you actually pushing?
Right.
Because it's
Or
not like you discovered that and then you were like, I divorced him. That's not what happened. You're still married to him. And honestly, I think he would benefit from having a more close social circle of people who also cross dress and could tell him how to make his boobs level. I don't know.
those images, I was like, is this real? Like you're like it's like it's just like I mean I've met some straight dudes that are cross dressers
Yeah, me
that
too.
like to
I
wear
ain't got
women's
no problem
clothing
with
and they're
that.
straight, but they're wearing it because they want to feel fancy. This guy, I was like, you look like you're trying to look like some woman from Jugs magazine. Like you're looking like I don't know if this is like you're trying to
I
like look your
feel
most
like he
feminine.
got a little out of his depth. Like maybe he did start with the B cups, but these are like double D cups, and it's like you have to have it strapped on correctly so you don't look like crazy Mrs. Doubtfire.
Or or he's really what instead of being a cross-dresser as like a transvestite, he's actually a drag queen. And maybe deep down he was actually wanting to do some type of drag. And
I would.
yeah, because to me, when I saw the images, I was like, it looked more like what a drag queen would do, which is really, you know, some drag queens are trying to be feminine, and then there's some drag queens that are just it's using as clowning techniques, right? Like they're exaggerating certain body parts or certain things because it's part of the clowning that they do in their bit. So, I think that,
Yeah.
I that's
Like
what I took
do
away.
what you do. Get out there.
Yeah. Girl, go be on RuPaul's Drag Race. Ruru might want to help you rehabilitate your world as a drag queen.
Yeah. Like come use my bathroom. I will readjust the straps to your uneven boobs. Like it's
Right.
fine. I
Yeah.
don't care.
I do think I also wonder though, I wonder if like him and Christy Nome have just been so out of it in a relationship for a while that they've probably just been living separate lives for so long that it just feels like because it did feel like it was a shock to her. Like it did feel like I was like, did you know, Christy, or were you just so surprised because you're over here banging this other guy in the freaking Air Force One, and you're just like living in DC, and your husband's probably going back and forth between was it South Dakota? I think she was governor of, was it South? I think, yeah, one of the
I
Dakotas.
don't have that in my notes.
Me neither. It was one of the Dakotas. So I just my
Just pick one.
yeah, the Dakotas. I mean, in the words of Bill Maher, do we really need two Dakotas?
Which
I'm not
also
a
begs the question, do we need two Virginias?
right. Right? Do we?
West Virginia is like a totally different vibe.
West Virginia is very different compared to Virginia. And they got little DC sandwiched up in there.
Well, that's the part that I grew up in. So,
Yeah. But I
but
mean,
yeah, Nova is very different from the West Virginia or the rest of Virginia. Sorry, that was a hard thing to say. West Virginia and the rest of Virginia.
I love that. West Virginia and the rest of Virginia. Say that 5 times fast, everybody.
I
It's a,
will not.
it's a good new warm up. That's a new warm up for your tongue for tongue twisters before you perform.
West Virginia, rest of Virginia, West Virginia, rest of Virginia. Okay, I can do it.
Yeah,
Okay,
you got it.
I'm a professional.
A professional. Oh, guys, I gotta tell you, audience, talking about the mess has made me a mess in my brain right now. It's so messy in this country.
I have a
So messy.
question.
Yes. Question?
Um, okay, I have two questions. What are we gonna do about voting rights having to do with your birth certificate matching your ID? That
That,
can't that can't be good.
no.
That seems like a mess.
I do think that is a mess. And right now, we're definitely dealing with the gerrymandering wars right now, too, that's prepping all of this so that Democrats or Republicans can try to gain as many seats. I do think prepare yourselves, guys. I mean, if you're listening to this, do whatever it is. If you really do believe in voting and you are planning on voting this summer, really just make sure you do a little due diligence out there to make sure you have all your materials, know where you're going to go vote. I know that seems um maybe a lot. I know everyone's living busy lives,
Yeah, it
but
seems like entirely too much work.
it
But
is, but you have to. There are too many things happening right now that are trying to take your vote away this year. And I do think this is not to scare anybody, but I do think if you can vote earlier, vote earlier. If you are in a place that allows you to go and do early voting, I think it'll be better because I do think we are we are dealing with a lot of hot-headed energies, and this midterms is very crucial. It just is. I think Trump and them have been showing that they're not going to hold back. So we don't know what they're going to do on that night. And look at how the news has been already. So do not be surprised when you're hearing people being arrested or not allowed to go vote. So if you can vote by mail early or if you can vote ahead of time, I would just encourage you to do it now. Not now, but do it then because I do think voting night might be a very hot night. That's to your question. There's nothing much we can do other than work with. I've been working with the local JC Democrats, that's the Jackson County Democrats here, and getting to know them, getting to learn about the whole system, learning about how I can be involved, whether that be even looking at politics one day, but really just being involved in this election to be a support system. So like even if you're not, if you're an independent, even if you're an independent, just but you do believe in your voting right, just do some work because there is a lot of shenanigans out there trying to stop people from voting. And I think especially in Texas, that is one of the big things that's scary. The fact that like if you're not voting at your precinct, your vote will not count. They will not let you in. Like that's another big thing that I've read. Like you have to go specifically to your voting center, not just a voting center in your county or in your neighborhood area. So like these are just things to like really be thinking about. Like one thing that happened here in Oregon, that has never happened before. You have to be registered in order to run in the election, but you've only ever had to just be registered before. But they made a law this year or last year that nobody really knew that changed everything, saying if you were not registered by September 11th of 2025, you cannot run. And like that, and I talking to the Democrats and everything, that was never there before. So like there's just different little things that are really making it harder to vote or to feel like your vote or you can be participating in this. So, you know, the good thing is the election is not tomorrow, so we have time. Just it doesn't have to take too long. Just go on. You can go to Pod Save America. They've got Vote Save America. They'll show you where to go vote. If you're on the left side, you can also just go to your local precinct, go to your website, your county, and you can find all the information on where to go vote and how to do it.
Thanks, Brandon.
I mean, it's the only thing. I mean, to your question, it's like I don't know how we're gonna stop it right now.
No, no, I'm glad that you put out that much useful information.
Well, we're trying to, it's a mess, but maybe we can help not let it be as much of a mess for people, especially when it comes to voting.
Yeah, we're the mess.
Yeah.
Other people can't be going around being a mess.
So, yeah, I think there was one thing I wanted to bring up before we wrap this up about just things to think about. Um, but I lost it, so I guess maybe it's not meant to be talked. I guess it'll be for the next mess episode. I don't know. Hopefully, maybe the next mess episode is us talking about the post mess and maybe some better things will be
Yeah,
coming out of
and
it.
that's next mess up.
Oh God.
Y'all were cute, okay? And also, we sometimes know stuff.
We tinking.
We be tinking with our mind brains that don't have worms in them
No worms.
that we
Mm-mm.
know of.
True, true. You know. Okay, well, let's
What?
end on a positive note. Amani,
Okay.
what is one hopeful thing you hope for this country this year?
I hope, I hope that many people pick up trash and our and or dog poo, even if it's not theirs.
Oh, that's nice. That is nice. I'm taking it. There must be a lot of people in Austin that don't are not doing that.
Not a lot, but I am one who does.
Hmm.
And, I'm like, oh, that's trash. And there's a trash can. Beep, 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 boop, boop. And
Boop,
I
boop.
also carry around dog poop bags so that if it's like, oh, that's dog poop, I assume it's dog poop, then I can pick it up and put it in the dog poop place so no one steps on it.
It's good. It's good for the environment. It's good for everybody. I love that. I pick up your dog
What's
poops.
yours?
Mine is that I hope that by July 4th of this year, when we celebrate our 250th anniversary, that we remind ourselves as Americans that not only are we a young country, but you do to get to deserve to try to be a part of making this country something better and more, and we should. And I hope people feel something around the birthday that reminds them it isn't all cynical. We're not perfect nation. We do have a lot of issues, and there are things that we can heal and things that we won't, but to not give up on the identity of this country. And I hope that it means something. I hope it's more than just hot dogs and everyone wearing 250 on their body. Like, I do hope there's something significant that reminds us that we're not just living history books anymore, but that we are living in a present in this country. And every person that is an American citizen should have the right to try to know that they're valuable here. So it's a big hope, but I just hope that over the course of the next few months, as we get closer to that birthday, which is going to be its own event, I think it's going to be a big thing. Hopefully nothing crazy, just maybe lots of parties and celebrations. But I do hope that there is a reigniting because I do feel like we've had a lot of apathy in this country and a lot of really deep, deep, dark cynicism that has made people question, is it even valuable to be American?
Well, and there's been a lot of Americans who have told other Americans that they don't deserve to be Americans. So I hope that everyone understands that we're all immigrants at the root. So there's not really any value to saying that you don't belong here based on the language they speak or their color of their skin or the way they're dressed. Like, we're here.
Yeah. We're living in a big experiment. That's been the whole idea. Our forefathers created an experiment,
Yeah,
and
it's the great experiment.
it is. I mean, and what does that mean? It means like a lot of other countries were built on some rich family owning the land and owning this world, and then blood rights and birthrights and all those things. And the majority of Western Europe is built around monarchies. I mean, that is really what is the identity of those countries. It's royal families that persevered through time. But the American system is not that. We are
Yeah, and we
completely,
can't let it become that.
yeah. And that I think is the big crisis that we're in. And I think it is our sovereignty as Americans to reject anybody who would want to turn this country into some form of a pseudo monarchy. And so it doesn't matter if you're right or left. It is ingrained in our birthright to be revolutionaries. That's why we are messy. That's why we do make mistakes and we have had wars. But I would love to hope in all this mess that we're in that maybe we can shift past another civil war. shift past some type of war that we think is the only way out of it. Maybe what we can do is just reject somebody who thinks that they can tell you they own you. Because that's kind of what it feels like with this guy. That's what it really, at the end of the day, it feels like dealing with that and that identity of a master servant relationship. And that's really where it comes down to. And I think every American can at least admit it doesn't feel good to be feeling like that with the person we have that treats us as if we're his servants.
Wow, Brandon, you really pulled that whole conversation full circle.
Well, that's the mess, everybody. And if you like the mess, then keep hanging out with me and Amani. We love talking politics, not because it's always fun, but
Or
we
easy.
or easy. But if we were only just artists, then we'd be different people. But from the moment Amani and our friendship connected, we've always found ways to like intellectually debate politics. So it's been fun. Oh, I now know what I wanted to ask you because I think
Oh no.
it's just a quick one, and it's a term that I think Amani brought up a while ago, and I felt like it'd be good to bring up in here. Just a word, a political word that I think Amani could define for us that gets used a lot, but the bull pulpit. Could you define what that means to our audience? It's a good way to just think about some political terms and maybe get some resource of information because I hear it a lot and I sometimes feel like it's getting misused.
It is often misused, and that's a tough one off the top of the dome right now. But the pulpit, pulpit, um, is assume you have a pulpit, like one that you have in church, but whatever. It's in like the town square. And there's just like one guy who gets to use it. So he's up there in the square on the pulpit being like, man, we gotta be like this. We gotta be like that. We gotta go over here. You are going somewhere else. Beep, 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 beep. So it's basically like a bully pulpit.
Hmm. I love that. Thank you for that definition. Thank you for defining it so many people can understand what it is in context because I feel like it's been being used a lot, and I think people are sometimes taking it as a way to feel being more bravado, but in context, it really
Yeah,
is.
that's what it is. It's like I found a box and a thing, and I'm standing on the box, and I'm telling the world what I decided was true. It's a bully
Mhm.
pulpit.
The bully pulpit. All right. Well, thank you everybody for listening, and thank you, Monty.
Thank you.
And hopefully we'll be getting another one. I think maybe we're gonna try to hopefully maybe keep this going every month now. Just let's try to keep this in context. I think if
Yeah,
anything,
it's been hard to keep up.
it
Like
is
so much stuff keeps happening. So
so
like
much.
it's like when do we even like I have so many notes and we didn't even it's okay. We talked about a lot.
We talked about a lot. We'll have more to talk about soon. It's never ending right now. So this was the April edition. Stay tuned for the May edition, guys.
Yeah. Oh, also, oh, I know. Okay, no, we'll talk about this next time.
No, what is it?
Planes.
Oh. Let's talk about that next time. Yeah, let's talk about planes next time. That'll be our ticking off conversation next time. We'll start off with planes
Well,
because they a mess. They a mess. They a mess. I, I traveled United last weekend. That was a mess.
okay, I love you.
Okay, love you. We love you, everybody. Goodbye.